everyone, it's me, Jay, your DM. I use he, him.
I'm Jerika, I use she, her.
I'm Haley, and I also use she, her.
I'm Air, I use he, him.
I'm Mazz, I use they, them. I have nothing witty to say this week.
And this is Ryuutama, where we explore a world of cats that is shaped like a cat pan that is full of unraveled mountains and wonder. And you're going to figure out what all that means as we go into the session starting now. First of all, welcome one and all to the world of Wei, the beautiful islands in the country of Luxon. However, the world of Wei is not yet fully formed, because the act of creating a world in the system of Ryuutama is a cooperative and collaborative effort. And so I have left space for my collaborators. Here are the things that we know for certain. The world is called Wei. It is mostly islands.
No way.
And the representative country is Luxon.
I shall call it Lushed.
Perfect. Which is a feudal fantasy world, a nation built around a mountain that is called Carolux.
I will call it Caroline.
Caroline.
Sure.
Sweet Caroline.
There are 3 questions which remain to be asked. First of all, Air. What is the shape of this world?
Like a heavenly body type situation?
Well, yeah, is it an orb? Is it a disc on a turtle's back? Is there a worm with a world inside its stomach? What's going on?
Do we want a bowl world?
A bowl?
A bowl world sounds great.
A circle.
Yeah, but given the race we have chosen, is it not perhaps a ball of string?
Or a bowl of milk that you should never feed to a cat, don't do.
Is it a litter tray?
Ooh.
The world is our
So it's
What is
flat,
that?
but
What is-
has
yeah.
sides, and then we just poop in it?
We should probably let the audience know we're all playing cat goblins. Hence the
Smelly cat
jokes.
goblin.
Where else would we poop?
That's true, actually. Who wants to go to outer space just to poop?
Not I.
Yeah, it is a litter box world. It is large and flat, and at the sides of it, at its furthest horizons, there is an impassable boundary.
All right, that is canon. Jerika, what is the threat to this world?
Ooh, too much of something.
Of a good thing?
Too much of a good time.
Not necessarily.
So you've established too much of something. Would you like to kick the ball to someone else to figure out what the something is, or do you have that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure. So, Haley, what is there too much of in this world?
There's too much poop.
Yeah, I mean.
Who said that?
There's too much poop. I was gonna say
Sorry,
something.
it was me again.
There's too much poop. There's too much
Dog.
dogs. I was gonna say money.
Ooh, money's
Too much
good.
money.
Too much money.
That,
You gotta
I mean, I
burn it
feel like
all.
that is actually a problem in our world.
Yeah, there's too much money.
Okay, so there's too much money in this world, and that has become a threat.
Yeah, people are just spending their money on weird things.
Oh, interesting. All right, interesting. Mazz, what is the enigma of this world? What is the mystery that people are trying to solve?
What lies beyond the edges of the litter box? Ooh. And so the money is being used to build more and more elaborate telescopes to try and peer.
Big,
And
really
at the
big
top of the
ladders.
mountain that we live near, or that Luxon is near, Mount Caroline, is a very large telescope to try and peer.
All right, let me just put that in, and let me just quickly change Mount Carolux to Mount Caroline. Because that's obviously going to be an ongoing situation.
And everyone's neglecting all of the inner areas because they're all just interested with the outside of the.
Ah, okay. So
up the
underworld
edge,
threats, we
pushing
shall also
stuff off.
put neglect of the inner world for the exterior world. Interesting. All right. Jerika, name me another world enigma.
A second enigma.
Yes, there are multiple mysteries in this world, and it says world enigmas, so I feel like we have to at least do 2.
Okay, great.
I think we can all agree that the dominant species here is the Neko Goblin, right?
Obviously, it's just
All right,
cats.
so the cat goblin is the dominant species of this realm.
Sometimes things that are one size unroll and become very, very long.
Ooh.
They must be
and
chased.
thin, almost attenuated. Yeah, and small.
Perfect.
And I do not personally understand how that works.
But it's going to
it
happen.
seems to be happening a lot lately, randomly.
The world is fraying, almost like a yarn ball. Interesting. All right. And then we have one more question. Air, the small village at the base of the mountains that you all inhabit, what is its name?
Definitely gonna be called Nugent Town. Yeah, cause cat scratch fever.
Sure. The world has finally materialized into the realm. We now know the shape of this world. It is a litter box in the great cosmos. And we now know the town that we live in, Nugent Town. Far from Nugent Town, in the great mountains, beyond the Whippoorwill Woods, and through the rolling rock canyons, there is a cave, vast and expansive, and in the cave, something miraculous is occurring. A small egg, brightly colored with red spots, is cracking, shattering, and breaking apart. And one of the most amazing things in the world is occurring. A dragon is being born. This tiny red dragon is mewling loudly, desperately crying out for attention, and it is not far from it. Nearby, a figure with wings on their back and horns on their head steps forward. They are bespeckled with red scales, and this individual is known as a Ryuujin, an individual that takes care of a seasonal dragon. It is the first day of fall, and a fall dragon has just been born. This seasonal dragon is desperately hungry, screaming out into the night of this cave, crying for some sustenance. And the Ryujin's job is to give that which the dragon demands. Fortunately, this Ryujin has been hard at work. They lean down to the small dragon, gently caressing its little head, and they say, "Master, fear not, for I have prepared a feast for you." And they hold out their hand, they wave a circle in the air, and an aura appears, a small plane. And through the plane, something like a view screen, you can see a place that is distant and far away. And from this portal, a small stream of energy seems to fly towards the dragon, which it laps up greedily, like the delicious noodle of one spaghetti. This dragon looks through the portal and sees a kitchen. The dragon seems disappointed. A kitchen? The Ryujin assures the dragon, no, master, watch. In the kitchen, a figure, bedecked in a cloak with a hood that covers most of their features, leans forward over a bowl, taking on a small vial. They unload the contents into the bowl, mixing it in, stirring. Treachery is afoot. The dragon's wings perk up, its eyes widen, almost Disney-like in their massive size. The dragon stares into this portal with rapt attention. This is treachery, and treachery is a good story. The bowl is taken down the corridor towards a room. At first, we cannot tell whose room it is. However, as a knock comes at the door, we can hear the voice behind this treasonous individual says, Prince, your dinner is prepared." The dragon likes that. A prince is high stakes. This is treachery against the crown. The prince comes to the door, a young boy, merely 12 years old, black hair that's wild and unkempt, eyes that are bright and full of life and energy. This young prince opens the door. They smile widely at this hooded figure who we do not know. They seem to have some trust or fondness for them. They take the bowl into their room. They sit down at a table stacked with books, high, nearly to the ceiling. This prince apparently loves studying strange things in far-off lands. The prince opens one of these books, flips through several pages. The bowl sits dangerous, ominous in the frame of this image. He hasn't quite eaten from it yet. There's a growing sense of tension. The dragon leans forward. Its eyes almost touch the portal as it waits and waits until eventually the careless boy reaches out with a simple hand, just grabbing a scoop of delicious fish broth, taking it to their feline lips because they are a cat person. They eat this delicious fish food, and you can see almost immediately their eyes go wide. They taste something strange, but they are too distracted by the books. The frame rolls ahead. Time passes quickly. The sun rises and falls rapidly. Now we see the boy, drained of life, skin sunken, eyes darkened, fur has taken on a gross, waxy sheen. Their ears are drooped low, but over them 2 lion-like figures stand, attending to them, the king and the queen. And they watch over the boy with worry written across their face. He is sick, and they do not know why. Word spreads across the kingdom. Find the cure. Many come and go through the castle. You can see that they sit at their throne receiving guests from all over who have some crackpot theory, one or the other. Finally, a wizard comes into the tower. They greet the king and queen. They open a great tome, and they show a single flower. A flower that has grown far from Luxon, but has the potential to cure even the prince's illness. It is a potent curative, but it has been mostly lost, hunted nearly to extinction because of its power. But there is one place that is known to have grown it at one time, and may yet still grow some to this day. Hawks are sent, flying across the countryside, racing towards the distant town of Nugenttown, the only location close enough to the mountains which still produce this rare species of potent flora. In the village, it is promised that if anyone can bring back the flower from the neighboring mountains, they will receive not only gold, of course gold. Gold is a simple matter. No, you're going to receive 100 of the juiciest, most delicious salmon that the kingdom can find. Not only that, but they'll also give you some tax incentives, and there'll be other benefits for the village. It'll be great for everybody. Honestly, it's going to be a huge economic boon for everyone here. But mostly it's about the salmons.
Obviously.
Our heroes are among those in the village who listen to the town crier as they beckon, urging anyone who is brave enough and bold enough to go into the hills to find these. But the people of the town know one thing that the distant city of Luxon did not know. In the neighboring hills, a terrifying beast has taken up residency. In this world of dragons, which exist everywhere, there is a certain kind of dragon that all children know to fear. The Nora Ryu.
Night Fury.
The Nora Ryu is a dragon which has lost its territory, has been forced out of its native domain. And you all know why. It's because of those damn dogs.
Oh, they chased him out. That's what dogs do.
That's what dogs do.
They're the worst.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad somebody did. Yes, unfortunately, the dogs have chased out this dragon from its homeland, and it was forced into the mountains against its will, and it has turned into a Nora Ryu. It does not have a home anymore. Its mind has left it. It has become full of rage and hatred. It has a black bile that covers its body and rots anything it walks across. Its tracks have become commonplace for the hunters of the village, and they know that wherever they see those tracks, that is the place to avoid with all effort, because it is a terrifying beast. But it also guards the domain where this flower can be found. And so, brave adventurers, it falls to you to take up the task to journey deep into the mountains. Find your way through the hills and valleys, track this creature down, defeat it, and claim from its domain the flower which can save the prince and earn your village juicy, delicious salmon.
But really, our village just kicks us out because we smell bad. They're like, go.
We smell
Let's
worse
introduce
than the
our
other
heroes.
cat.
First of all, you can always identify this particular group of individuals by the malodorous aura which surrounds them. They are a stinky bunch.
We're smelly cats.
You're smelly cats. But why don't you tell us about more than just your smell?
I'll go. I'll just jump right in. I am playing Marmalade, who is a magical farmer cat. And I have 3 animals that accompany us. Smelly the pony, Noisy the donkey, and I have a mouse whose name is Nutella. Oh, I also carry around a stuffed animal that looks like Toast, and its name is Toast.
Is that why you were posting toast pictures after I left last night?
Yeah, that's my item that goes, I carry
I
around
was in the middle of
jar on my
D&D
head.
and I just saw these pictures of toast and I had to have a moment in the middle of that session.
Yes, that's why.
My character's Ricious, and they are a technical navigator. They have lots of exciting weapons and items, including one uncool walking stick. But more importantly, they have a body pillow, a big pillow. It's a big pillow, okay? But it's really cute. and they protect it like it's their
It's the only
child's.
thing that doesn't smell.
Yes, it's true.
It's a body pillow that doesn't smell. Sure, I buy it. It's new. I am playing Benjamin Toebox, who is a real cool cat. He is Ben to his friends, Ben Toebox. He is an artisanal cook. He primarily works in the field of butchery. He has a giant battle axe size two-handed butcher's cleaver kind of strewn across his back, as well as various accoutrements and other tools. He's kind of a Mr. Fix-It. And he's been traveling for a long time. He's found himself in Nugent Town as part of a much longer travail that he has been on, as a Ryujin came to him in his dreams one night many years ago and said that if he were to cook for many across the lands, eventually there would be one person who would taste his cuisine and instantly fall in love with him, and that person would be his soulmate. So this seems like a good enough reason for him to kind of get going, you know. I'm sure Evil Dragon cooks up pretty good, and I'm excited to give that a shot.
So you're like a attacker cook?
Yeah, I'm both a lover of fine food and a fighter
What
of
are the
fine
exact
food.
words from the rules?
I'm an artisan is my class, and I'm a fighter type.
There you go.
I am playing 6 Lives Left, a streetwise, scrawny alley cat, you know, the type beaten up, one eye. We don't know how 6 Lives has lost 3 lives so far. But what we do know is that 6 Lives is a magic type healer who has a spell that can make people stand up.
Yeah, that's true. Wake up and stand up.
You know, stand
Yep.
up. Stand up for your right.
So if the group are annoying 6 Lives, he will just wait till they're asleep and then wake them up.
Speaking of which, Nugent Town is a town which needs to be completed. It has not yet fully formed under this auspicious circumstance. We must define it. First of all, what is the population of Nugent Town? Around how many people do we think we have here? 100? Is it like a very small town? 100? Is it a 1,000? You know, like a little village, or is it like a bustling city here at the base of the mountain?
I feel like it's probably pretty small.
Okay.
I would like to say maybe it used to be big because
Ooh.
people were using the mountain and then realised there were taller mountains to go and use. So now it's more of a ghost town.
Yeah, we're in
maybe the biggest mountain unraveled.
So yeah, people have moved on and there's lots of abandoned areas.
We're far away from the edge of the litter box.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're not interesting.
So who's the ruler of Nugent Town?
I mean, Ted, right? Like,
Oh god, I hate that guy.
Theodora, she is her
Yes.
full name.
Okay.
I'm very good friends with her.
Very good friends.
Should have been me.
It should have been you.
The environment is Highlands. Representative building. What is the sort of signature building of this town?
We have a
Those
clock tower.
cat
Those are-
yurts.
Cat yurt.
Cat year.
I like that better.
Cat yurts. I have to Google what a
I
yurt
gotta
is.
Google that.
It's a type of tent.
A tent. Like a platform tent.
Is there a specific cat year? I mean, I know
Oh
what a yurt is.
my lord.
Oh my god, it's a tiny little bed for cats that looks like a yurt.
Cat yurts.
Can they all have little
Okay.
like ears though on the outside?
Oh
Like people have made yurts, but then they also have
Cat
ears.
yurts with cat ears. Perfect.
I found one. I'm sending
And
it
the
to the
ears
chat.
will like match whoever is like the leader, the head of the family, so you know which family lives there.
Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. What is the specialty good of this town?
Bicarbonate of soda.
which comes in super handy for us.
No,
Nobody has
spews
stomach
out
acid.
of the mountain.
So it's mined. They mine it.
Yeah.
What does raw bicarbonate of soda look
It
like?
looks
White
just like
powder.
It's baking soda.
baking soda. It's baking soda.
Which is really
Okay.
useful for a bunch of
like
smelly
Arm &
cats.
Hammer.
We should just, roll around in those mines for a while.
Why are we so smelly? You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Is bicarbonate of soda the one that like fizzes up?
Yes.
When you put vinegar on it, it sure does.
Great. I just like to imagine that there's like some sort of exploding bicarbonate of soda fountain.
When I was a kid, you used to be able to get like these little tiny plastic boats, and you could put like the baking soda in them, and then when you put them in the bath, it would fizz and they would move.
And they would move.
That's cute.
What is the town's sight, sound, or smell? What is the signature sight, sound, or smell of the town?
Fizzing bicarbonate of soda.
Sound fizzing.
Fizzing. Perfect. All right, there we go.
Yeah, the town doesn't smell because bicarbonate of soda absorbs smells. So why we all stink so much, I have no clue.
Our stench is so bad.
You all have lost the natural instinct to clean all the time because of the smells just being absorbed by the bicarbonate
Yeah,
of
because
soda.
we don't smell when we're in town.
This makes sense.
This is all coming together now. Okay, Nugent Town, famous for its cat yurts and its bicarbonate of soda, has become
Going to there.
imperiled thanks to the nearby proximity of a Nora Ryujin. And you all have hatched a scheme to go into the mountains, defeat this Nora Ryujin, claim the flower, and get that salmon.
Salmon.
It's time to get it. So, what does it look like as you get ready for the journey? What are we looking at as you are all gathering on the edge of town?
I just remembered, whoever's poisoning the prince is whoever has the insurance policy. I've watched a lot of true crime,
Yeah.
and it's definitely whoever's taking out the
An
insurance,
insurance
policy
policy on the
Yeah,
prince.
his
Yes.
life insurance policy.
He's going to point
Yeah,
at
that's
his
You got it,
parents
the
and go,
king and queen.
"J'accuse." Yeah.
So, have we been told specifically that we need a plant?
A flower.
Yes, you have been told that.
So we probably need something to put it in once we find it.
That's probably why I got dragged along. Like, I don't want to be there, but I'm the only one that knows what it looks like.
You've got the plant carrying thing.
Yeah.
You know where to put plants when you get them?
I'm sure they have a lot of pot to put plants in.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Well, because of all the
Why?
Never mind.
No.
Not
Hashtag
that kind
new
of
joke.
show.
It's a family show air.
I would wrangle my trusty pack animals and I'd let them roll in their favorite dirt pile first. Like, I would encourage them to do so.
So which is the loud one? Is that your cow?
No, that's it's a donkey.
Your donkey's the loud one. So it's just
just brays.
braying.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
It's just constantly.
I'm like trying to get it to come along and it's just screaming in donkey. And then the other one is the pony. It's a yellow pony, so it kind of matches my orange and yellow fur.
Marm, quick question. Is it going to do that like the entire time or?
Yeah, it's this is noisy. You get used to it.
I really appreciate the Foley work going into bringing it to life.
Yep, and I'm just I'm like totally used to it. It's kind of like I'm totally used to everything smelling. I'm just used to this donkey, so I'm just loading it up with like barrels of water.
Is that donkey all right?
Oh yeah, this is noisy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I agree.
Quick one. 6 is a he, him. What's everyone else's?
Marmalade is a she, her.
Richesse is a NB.
Ben is a he, him.
Ted comes to the edge of the village and just shakes their head, looking at you all and goes, I don't know what exactly you hope to accomplish fighting that dragon out there. I mean, I know that the prize is good, but it's just a terrible risk for some prince we've never seen our whole lives. Are you sure you want to risk your good, healthy young years on this?
Now, Ted, I'm so glad you asked. I want more salmon than I have ever seen in my entire life, and that's what they promised, so that's why I'm going.
Well, I understand the allure of a delicious, uncooked raw salmon, but I also understand the allure of growing old on your porch and watching the sunset and sleeping 12 or 14 hours of the day.
I got 5 more lives I can lose.
I suppose so. You've always been somewhat of the rough and tumble type. I thank you, little artifice. Oh, what the fuck's your name? Oh, I thank you, Ben, for coming along on this journey and helping them. You're a little more experienced in the whole going off on adventures thing.
I mean, the road is my muse, and I intend to ride it onwards to my fortune.
And it's 'cause you say wild shit like that all the time that I totally expect you'll be good at this.
That makes one of us.
Have I not been on adventures? Do you not remember the life I lost in the far eastern mountains?
Well, of course, but this one's traveling all across the world, so it's a little different, I guess. I can't imagine what all they've faced out there. I'm sure this is their 3rd or 4th dragon.
Now, Ted, I want you to know that
Yes.
my true intentions for this adventure are secret.
Okay. That's some suspicious ass shit you just said there, but I appreciate it. Marmalade, I can't fathom why you're going out there. You've always been so, happy to stay at home and tend to the animals.
Yeah, I just thought it might be interesting to try something different, and I'm deciding on the spot that I'm actually kind of an older cat. And I remember the days when Nugent Town was much better than it is now, and people actually wanted to come here, so hopefully I can bring some glory back to our old town.
Remember when I lost that life when we were building the extension to the scratch pole?
Honestly, a boost to our tourism economy would be extremely good. It would really help the hotels and the eateries. Those places especially benefit from a healthy tourism. So certainly that is a noble ambition you've got there. Well, I won't try to stop you all. I know you're all set in your ways on it, but, I just want you to make sure that a failed journey is better than a journey that ends in death. So if it gets too bad out there, just don't be afraid to come back.
I would say a death journey is also a failure.
Sure. Well, but I prefer the kind of failure you walk away from, so just don't be scared to come back home if it calls for it. Okay?
I'm ready to die.
Let's not die. I'm not ready to die.
I'm ready to...
I've died 3 times at least. You remember that time I died when we were all just decided to go down to see what the sea was like, and I fell
in? And that's 3 deaths, so we've covered them all already.
Backstory fleshed out.
We should keep you out of water on this adventure.
I mean, he told me another one while you were talking, so I don't know.
I think the name might be misleading.
All right, then. With that, they make their way back towards the village to go to the new expanded scratching post. I mean, somebody's got to use it. It's not getting much use, but somebody's got to make use of that thing. It costs so much money. I mean, I know we've got too much money. We don't know what to do with it all, but that thing costs so much money.
It's got all these extra split level layers, and there's a little
oh yeah, and they bought the really nice imported felt.
Yeah, and really nice luxury feathers.
I like the platform way at the top.
Yeah, people thought it was silly when we used the last phoenix feather, but we've got so much money. Why not use it?
Good question.
I mean, the phoenix especially didn't appreciate it.
It's just bald now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's canon. There's a bald phoenix somewhere out there. And they're pissed. You're on the edge of town. Why don't you all give me a condition check? So this is strength plus spirits. And this is what we do to start the day. We determine our starting condition. Ooh. Ooh. That's not good. Oh, Air, you're in peak condition. So a conditions is 2. They are out of shape. Otherwise, they are fine. Oof. So the only ones you really have to worry about are 2 or anything above 10. So everybody avoided the 2. Air actually did get 10. So air is in what's called tip-top shape. When a character's condition is 10 or higher, the character's feeling great, so that one of their stats is temporarily increased.
I'm trying to think which one I want to increase right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one of your Ds can be higher than the others. That was a way to phrase that.
Yeah.
It was.
Just the D's.
Happens to all cats of a certain age. Okay, I'm going to make my dex a D6.
Everybody wakes up feeling spry and ready for the journey, some more than others. Ben, you wake up feeling extremely eager to get out of town. You're in tip-top shape.
Aw, hell yeah.
As you make your way to the grasslands surrounding the village, you first begin your journey in relatively easy terrain. Everything is nice, the sun is out, it is beautiful weather. You see a large, strange cloud up ahead, and as you approach closer to it, you can see that it actually breaks into a dozen cloud dragons, which all skitter off in various directions. Each one having clumped together into a massive cloud. You see that they scatter off to the 4 winds.
Looks like if a sheep and a dragon had a baby.
It's so fluffy.
So cute.
Oh no.
You can also see that there is, wandering through the grasslands here, there are a flock of prairie dragons. Prairie dragons resemble what you might expect a velociraptor kind of to look like, but with large doe-like eyes and a soft nostril, and long antennae stretching back from their heads covered in feathers. Their whole body actually is quite feathery, which is actually like the velociraptor. The prairie dragons are herbivores, eating the grass of the prairie as well as the low branches of the trees. And they are running in little herds, milling about through different areas.
I love them. Actually, though, my character hates them because the dragons eat all of the things.
Yeah, these prairie dragons you've definitely had some trouble with on your farm, coming along the edge of the fences and nibbling on the tops of crops, biting them down practically to the roots. You have to really keep a wide berth of the fence on your farms to keep these darned dragons out. But you know, if you disturb the dragons too much, of course, they could become yet another Nora Ryu, and the people of Nugent Town know that you absolutely have to respect the dragons. Either way, you make your way through. Why doesn't our navigator give us a direction check?
I'd love to.
And everybody can give us a check for their travel, how they handle the travel during the day.
Do at some point, PB, once we get a little bit closer, I'm just saying this now because I don't want to forget. I would like to try to track using my animal tracking.
Oh, absolutely.
Does one of us have that fancy magic pointy compass thing?
Oh, yeah, I have that too. I have a spell, should it be useful for navigating us, that allows me to make a magical compass that appears and lasts for 12 hours.
Okay, and what does this compass do?
It causes a magical compass to appear, and it is recommended for new players, and it gives a +1 on direction check. So I think...
Sure.
I believe that I could have it, and then it just floats around with us and would help our navigator.
Sure, so Richesse gets a magical compass. Is anybody helping Richesse, by the way?
With the compass.
Well, you can help as well as giving them the compass.
Oh, really?
You can do, one person can help the mapper to do the direction check.
Oh, what is the skill that does directions?
So that is just int plus int.
Probably not the best. I know the road.
You have to be a 5 in order to help someone.
This road in particular.
I do have D8s for my int.
Okay, that's better than me. I have 6s.
Yeah, absolutely. You grant a +1 to the check. So, Richesse, what was your check total?
7?
+2, 1 from me and 1 from Mazz.
9?
Yeah, you absolutely managed to guide this party through this terrain. Thanks to a successful check, the party finds your way. There was a fumble in the travel check.
Yeah, sorry.
So that means the character's current hit points are quartered.
Does 6... I was wondering for flavor, does 6 lives left get like motion sick just while walking. You know how cats don't do well in the car? My cat's always like drooled and got really sick whenever they had to.
6 is just like really fed up and doesn't want to be there and tired, didn't want to wake up.
6, give me a strength plus dex.
Is anyone else imagining like grumpy cat in a cloak? That's the vision I have of 6, and I like it.
3 plus 2, so 5. Okay. As you're traveling, 6, you manage to twist on your ankle a little bit, and you receive a injury 4. So the strength of your injury is 4. So when you make a condition check in the morning, you need to make at least a 4 to get rid of it. And while you have an injury, your dex is reduced 1 die size. So you're a little less dexterous as you have sprained your ankle out in the wilderness, having had a difficult day of travel. You are just exhausted by the end of the day. Fortunately, your direction has gone extremely well, and you have found your way quickly across these plains and finding towards the objective. Everybody else did really well. They succeeded their travel check, which means you travel all day without harm. If you made a 6 or above, that is your first day of travel. After you have made your way across the plains here, looking over these prairie dragons and seeing the cloud dragons flying overhead, you have made your way to the edge of the highlands. And in the highlands, you know, that's sort of like your objective. Having made it as far as you can in one day to the sort of foothills of these highlands, you now need to set up camp. What does that look like?
Before we do that, as we're walking, can I walk over to 6 and just be like, Bud, you look like you're doing a little rough there in the old leg department. Did you want my like walking stick? Maybe you could like pair it together for like a set of crutches or
6 just is like limping along at the back and just with like his one good eye just narrows it. And it's like wrinkling his nose up as if to say, how dare you try and help.
Okay, well, like my
how can I milk sympathy if you're being kind?
you're doing it. Just be successful. Here's a stick.
No.
Okay. I guess a kittyback ride is totally out of the question then. I'm just going to go back up to the front of the group with the nice animal lady. Okay, bye.
Yeah, your animals are brought in. The wagon is circled a little bit. A rip-roaring fire is set up.
I have 2 tents that I will unpack off of Noisy's back, and I will give one to somebody else who seems like they might be willing to help with tent setup, and then I will start.
Are they yurts?
They are smelly cat yurts, and they each fit 3 people.
I can help.
3 cats. Okay, I will give one to Rishis, and I will start setting up the other one as well. And the other thing I'm going to do is I would like to do the spell Alert Alarm Bell to give me. It'll basically let us know if a monster comes within 10 meters. So I'm going to set it up right above our campfire in the center of our camp. Basically gives us a +1 to camp checks.
Absolutely.
I seem a lot like I know how to travel based on these 2 things, but I also don't have a walking stick. So I'm also looking around to see if there's anything that I can use to that looks like a walking stick. Because I've noticed that everybody else that I'm traveling with has walking sticks.
I shoot 2 cat paw fingers, double guns over at Marmalade. I'm like, don't you worry, I totally got you covered. And I take out a branch I grabbed and I start whittling it down into a walking stick. And can I make a crafting check?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I am going to. Did we get a fumble point from the fumbling?
Yes, you fumbled, Mazz, so you have a fumble point.
Does just Mazz get it, or does the whole party get one?
Each party member receives a fumble point that will aid
You're
them.
all welcome.
So everybody gets a fumble point.
I'm going to spend mine right now.
My grumpy cat is not happy, but you're welcome, everyone. Why do all my characters end up being surly assholes? Maybe I'm projecting.
So that's a 13 on my crafting check to make Marmalade.
Holy smokes. Almost. Oh boy, almost a critical. Yeah, you craft the heck out of something.
Is it like
That's
the
like what,
nicest-
10,000 gold?
It is the finest. It's like blinged out. Like
I mean, you can literally put on like all the modifiers, right?
I like.
It's like the best.
Yeah,
walking
it's
stick.
cool. It's like you can see there's like these intricate engravings of you and Noisy and Smelly and Toast and Marmalade, like all walking together. That goes down the length of it.
That's
I just it's nothing. Here you go.
I like tear up a little bit, and then I just sit there looking at it.
I look at my uncool walking stick and I weep for different reasons.
Yeah, an item of 10,000 gold or less. So if we look at the walking stick, how much does a walking stick cost?
Like 10 gold or something like that, 5 gold. I'm also just wearing my cat fur, just so that everyone knows. I have no clothes.
Walking stick is 50 gold.
Oh, okay.
So it can be a cute times 2 to 100 gold, a beautiful times 2 to 200 gold, sturdy times 3 to 600 gold. So it can be a cute, beautiful, sturdy walking stick or it could just be a high quality. So you have a cute, beautiful, sturdy, high quality walking stick. The most incredible walking stick ever made has been made out here in the middle of the wilderness. I'm glad that we created the most incredible walking stick in history. We need to name this walking stick, I feel like.
I know.
I feel like this is an
Yeah,
heirloom
it's a
that will be passed
legendary
down in
item
history.
now, right?
Probably.
Like,
But also, all of my items and things that I've named have terrible names. I have Smelly the Axe,
Yes.
Stinky the Pony, and Noisy the Donkey.
Fancy.
Fancy. Yeah, perfect. It has to be in line. Fancy.
Your
the
fancy,
walking
your
stick.
walking stick fancy. Perfect.
here's your one chance, fancy. Don't let me down.
Let me down. That's
Yeah,
what I sing
exactly.
every time I do my travel checks now. So we set up a camp. I'm assuming that I dole out some like water and rations from the pack animals.
Oh yeah, so yes, deduct 1 ration and 1 water, one unit of water.
For each person though, or for each cat, right?
Yes,
Would you
each
all be interested in sampling some of my unique cuisine?
No.
Okay.
Well, Air, let me just give you a warning. You do have 1 more day of travel before you arrive at your destination.
All right. I'll save this meal that I freshly prepared for later. No worries. Thank you, Six, for your feedback.
Does anyone want to sample a whiff of my insect repellent candle? Anyone?
Wouldn't it be a great twist if, like, Six was as Bento's soulmate?
That has to happen.
Okay, well, now I have to edit that out so that people don't see it coming.
Yes.
Richesse, you pull out a smoke stick and just deep huff. You get that delicious scent in your nostrils, all the way down to your lungs.
Yeah.
And
all the
you
way
feel hardy. You feel hale. You feel healthy. That has
Like
gotten
I've
all
drank
the
some
toxins
grog,
out.
for sure. Yeah.
So I only have to deduct 3 rations, right?
No, 4 rations. They still have to snort that stuff, but they still have to eat.
Oh, they do? Okay, I thought that was
Yeah.
in replace of food.
Well, I don't think huffing a
No.
candlestick is in place of eating.
Okay.
I mean, maybe mechanically the grog is, but this isn't.
It's not. Okay, great. That's fine. I have deducted 4 rations and 4 waters.
I've got 1 in each hand. I just want to let y'all know. I got 1 in each hand. 1 in each paw.
One for each nostril.
Yeah, and I keep going back and forth from like left to right to left.
Wonderful.
They do have different qualities.
Which one smells better?
I mean, they smell good in different ways.
Okay, who's making the camping check? I guess this is Haley's domain?
Probably as the
I want to help because I'm helping with the yurt.
as the quartermaster. Oh yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, Marmalade's domain.
Do I have to roll first to see if I help?
I get a +1 to what I just rolled because of the camping spell.
You have 5
What do you
plus
mean?
1 is 6 plus 1 is 7.
So I rolled 5, 6. I actually rolled 8. I need to add alarm +1 to camping.
So success. At the end of the day, each character's current HP is doubled up to their max. Their MP is fully restored. So with a success, you have given everybody double their health, which means that Mazz is up to half health.
Hooray! Also, 6 has disappeared inside one of the yurts. And there are these clouds coming out. And if you get near enough, you can get a whiff. And they just smell like catnip.
Token up in there.
We love inhaling, don't we?
This is a camp full of people who love inhaling. Speaking of which, would you like to roll to see if you can gather herbs while you're on your journey?
I guess I should really, shouldn't I?
5 is not quite enough to get an herb. I think the terrain is 6. The terrain DC for the day is 6.
Yeah, probably should have gathered the herbs before toking the nest.
It was a difficult
You
day.
could use your fumble point.
Nah. 6, he's got herb at the minute.
Yeah, for sure. Night settles in. Everyone rests well. The sun descends. Your loud donkey finally tires itself out and goes to sleep, leaving a blissful silence over the camp for a brief period of time. And you feel like a sort of panic set in because you know if you don't fall right asleep, that thing wakes up at the crack of dawn. And you have to get some sleep before it starts screaming. Yeah, you feel like a certain pressure to go to sleep. However, as you're sleeping in your tent, in your yurt, you feel the alarm spell goes off for a brief moment.
Oh, no.
Wakes you up. What do you do when your alarm spell goes off? Do you wake everyone up or do you go out and check on your own?
This is my first time out adventuring, so I probably just start screaming at everyone.
Well,
Everybody
also
wakes up in the middle of the night just
is visiting us, but
6
no longer.
We'll just sit up and then instantly cast Wake Up, Get Up.
Yes,
So
we all just...
everyone else just stands up.
This is the best spell.
You wake up to find that the nearby tree has unraveled like a ball of yarn and stretched across the camp in another of the grim tidings of this world's strange goings-on.
I immediately jump into the strands and get tangled.
Absolutely.
I need help.
I will brandish Smelly the axe.
Before we get there, can I just ask how high is the yurt? Will everyone who've stood up immediately have hit their heads?
Probably. They're small. They only fit 3 people.
A 3-person tent. I feel like that's a pretty decent size tent.
Expansive, like upper areas on like a trifold tent. If
That's
you will.
true.
Yeah, they're yurts. Yurts are like so special. I feel like I want to have a yurt now. I feel like I want to go buy a yurt.
I want a cat.
2020 is the year of the yurt. It's the
Absolutely.
year of the yurt.
Fill your life with laughter and yurts.
That's our podcast motto.
Mm-hmm. You tangle yourself up in yarn, and you continue your long rest unabated for the rest of the day.
Oh wait, do I just like fall over in my sleep?
You're so
in this
high on
yarn
that
tree?
candlestick, you know. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Is there a definite a point where these are still attached? These strands.
Yeah, they like go down into the roots. You think the roots have probably unraveled, but since they're buried, they're
Okay.
they're stuck down there.
And where's the top is just draped across the camp, basically?
Yeah, it's basically like imagine the tree had been made of yarn, and then it just unfurled all at once, like some
Got
sort
it.
of.
But
It
it's
just
still
magically
made of
became.
tree somehow.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a very strange, mystic situation here.
Can I take my axe and start cutting at the root part where it goes into the ground?
Yeah, sure. Make the check that your axe does.
Great. As I swing my axe, it smells really bad.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's a 13! Yeah, you do it like a champ. You managed to chop this thing up, no problem.
Great.
A 12, yeah. With a 12, you're probably famous in your hometown
Oh,
for
yeah.
your axe skills.
I mean, I'm a farmer, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wood chopping competition every year. It happens in town in the fall, and I win every year.
And like people like maybe are a little like suspicious of it, like, yeah, they keep holding this competition, they always win. It's kind of weird.
Rigged.
But like
It's just rigged, man. It's just
yeah,
rigged.
Yeah, Marmalade sponsors it, but she wins every year.
Yeah, you managed to accumulate some wood for your traveling caravan.
Whoa, okay. Is there any, like, damage done, or is it just a flopped over tree?
Honestly, it's almost like more convenient this way because it's all like one consistent thickness and like it's really long, so it's easy to chop into like perfect size lumber. It's as if the tree has already been milled for you. Like
yeah.
there's hardly any labor at all. So you just get a bunch of lumber, so you're ready to use it for campfires or crafting or whatever needs done.
Is
Awesome.
it floppy though, or is it stiff?
I think that it is. Well,
Can it be floppy until it's chopped into pieces of wood and then it
yeah,
becomes wood
I like that. I
consistency?
like that once it's like once it's cut from the bottom, it just like goes rigid again.
Oh, gosh.
Like, I know that when I've got loose yarn, it somehow manages to tangle itself up completely. So if, like, Rishis is all tangled up in the yarn, does it all go stiff around them?
They're just encased in this tree. No, I think that probably Marmalade like made sure it was all straightened out and ready to go before they chopped it, because you've all seen these weird magical things unfurling before. This is not your first time seeing something weirdly turn into yarn.
I was about to say, don't move.
Like that third year from the end of the village when that unraveled, that was horrific.
It was a mess.
Do you remember when the first scratching pole unraveled?
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
why we had to spend so much on it the second time.
Which is weird because everybody was actually still enjoying the first scratching pole, even though it had unraveled. Like, it was still serving the general function of a great place to scratch.
Day.
Yeah.
Might have been the best day of my life.
You wanna have the best day of your life. You all sleep. And that, everybody, was the first part of Ryuutama. It went for about 2 hours, so there will be one more episode of this. We have another day of travel, and then a dramatic conclusion for you coming right up. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for checking out another episode of Insight Check. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave us a message with other systems we could try out that you have personally enjoyed on System Agnostic. We will be doing a System Agnostic on this afterwards, where we go over the system and how we felt about it after playing it. We don't always play our System Agnostic games in recorded sessions, but this seemed like a short and cute game, so we thought we'd give it a try, and it was a blast. We had a lot of fun. As always, we want to thank Vinswept for the music. This time we used Never Stand Alone, which was the outro. We also want to thank Bernadette at Burnham, BERNUMM, 3 M's. The 3 M's stand for Masterfully, Mad Lad, Modrons. No, it doesn't stand for that. You'll have to ask them. If you enjoyed the episode, of course, leave a comment on iTunes podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We always appreciate that, and it is always super helpful. And as always, we're answering your cues from our collective A's. This was Insight Check.
cats.
I turned my volume down when I coughed. That's not what I should have done. I should have muted my mic.
You turned us down.
Yeah, exactly. I turned you all down and then just coughed at normal volume. Yeah.
That was great.
That was the wrong one.
That's perfect.
Hit the wrong button there.